Hello ladies and gentlemen, hi guys and girls, and welcome to the second part of my tutorial on how to build a rhombic triacontahedron Megaminx. Last week we sanded down some of the parts and filled them beforehand, so right now I will start sanding all of the remaining pieces. So half of the pieces were sanded last week and half of the pieces will be sanded today. Here we have the fully assembled puzzle now. Some of the pieces still have holes in them, but first of all I will sand all of these surfaces flat on all sides. So I will just do this 30 times, then spin the cube around a bit, do it again, spin it around a bit, do it again, just to even out all of the imperfections on the pieces, because some of the corner pieces might be a bit bigger, some of the edge pieces might be a bit bigger, and I want them all to be exactly the same as possible. And I will also use my metal ruler and wrap sandpaper around it, so I get the perfectly flat surface. I don't want to put the cube on the sandpaper and sand like that, because the surfaces or the sides are so small that I think I could get in trouble if I accidentally turn the puzzle a bit. Alright, so the first round of sanding is done now. Here is what the puzzle looks like. You can still see a lot of holes and imperfections, but we'll get to that in a bit. But first I will scramble the puzzle and then sand all of the sides once again. Okay, so second round of sanding is also done now. Here we can have another look at the puzzle. But I will do one more round just to be sure. On the next step, I will now take all of the center extension caps that I built ages ago and clean those up. Alright, so all of the 12 center extension pieces are cleaned up now. So I will continue to disassemble the cube, glue all of the extension caps onto the center pieces where they belong, like this, and then start filling up all of the holes in the pieces. Oh yeah, and one more thing I should probably mention. I would usually, before I glue center caps onto a puzzle, I would check if all center caps are tightened equally. But in this case, if you look at the screw, it gets a bit bigger, so I can only screw it into a certain amount. And I noticed that I can still turn the puzzle pretty nicely, even if the screw is in there. So I just tighten them up until the big part of the screw touches the plastic, and I get a bit of resistance here. And also, before I start gluing the pieces onto here, I will sand down the edges of the center pieces to make the glue stick better. Alright, so now that all of the pieces are filled with our sanding dust and super glue, I will sand them down, and if some of them still have holes, I will just fix them with super glue and sanding dust again. I found some more imperfections on the pieces, so I filled some of them up once again. But in the meantime, we can take the core and sand down the sides like I already did on this one here. So all of the sides are still sticking out, have excess material, and we will just remove this now. The core is completely sanded now, so seems to look pretty good. And all of these parts here are also perfectly filled. Alright, so here we have the fully assembled puzzle, and as you can see, the edges and corners fit pretty nicely everywhere, but the center extensions are still pretty much raw. So we will have to sand the extensions down also with the sandpaper and the metal ruler. All of the center cap extensions are sanded now too, and the puzzle has its final geometry, the final form basically. Alright, so I already sanded down the whole puzzle with 240 grit sandpaper, and I also took the sandpaper and went along all of the outer visible edges basically. So the puzzle should be pretty smooth now, so I will disassemble it and then start grounding off all of the other parts. All of the pieces are rounded off now, and then I rub them with a microfiber towel to remove any dust. So now we're ready to spray paint it with black acrylic spray paint. Alright, so the puzzle is assembled. I'm super satisfied with it. Looks awesome, I think. And now we just need to sticker it. I will just do colors that look somewhat the same on opposite sides. And here we have it, the Rhombic Triacontahedron Megaminx. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.